Hey guys, welcome back to another PS2 Memories video. Here we are taking a look at Crescent Suzuki Racing that was released for the PlayStation 2 back in 2004. And this game focuses around the Superbikes Motor Racing Championships and even sidecar racing elements, where your goal is to race on tracks and to win races with the intention to win the championships and to progress, so that you can unlock additional elements and other vehicles and even tracks throughout the course of play. The one thing to note with this game is, like a lot of other games released on the PS2 around this era, this is also a budget style game. And there are also quite a number of different games or very similar games that were also released by the same developer, but they utilise different elements like maybe cars or different aesthetics, but the gameplay and visuals are all pretty much the exact same, even with the same tracks. The game's just repurposed with just a few different elements. I have done previous videos on them games, so I'll make sure to drop a link to a playlist down below in the description so that you can also see them and you can compare them, because you'll see the similarities. So that was kind of a thing back in the day with a lot of budget games from smaller development companies. They used to rebrand and rehash a lot of these type of games, where they would take kind of like a well-known brand or name, but then they would put motorbikes in one game, but then they'd reuse the exact same game but instead put cars into it or trucks into it, and essentially it was just the same game but just a different logo or sticker or tag on the game. So for a lot of people that would have played it wouldn't have really known the difference, but again, the games would have still sold to a reasonable degree. Now, not much is known about these games other than they didn't get the best of reviews, and a lot of it is down to a number of different reasons, again because of reused content, but also some of the handling elements, especially with the likes of this game here in particular, where on the motorbike races it can be quite difficult to win races outright because the computer AI opponents can be severely difficult to beat. But not only that, the collision detection is also quite bad in the game as well, because at any point the slightest little touch from another opponent on the track literally will just fling you off your bike, and as soon as you fall off your bike even once, it's pretty much race over. But on the other side of that, you do have the chance of winning races, again required mainly based on skill. But if you go into the other game modes, even the sidecar mode where you do race like kind of like a motorbike, but you have a sidecar because you have another person with you that can help you alter the handling physics of the bike itself, and you're going around corners and braking and so forth. Having played it myself, I found those modes a lot easier to get to grips with, and it was easier to win races with the sidecar mode compared to the bikes. The bikes was definitely a struggle. But even aside of that, the game does offer a number of different game modes, like mainly like the championship, but you do also have access to time trial and even multiplayer elements, so you can play against other players, even to a point that you can play kind of like cooperatively in the sidecar mode, so one person can be driving the bike while the other person can be utilising the weight distribution to help get around corners and so forth at higher speeds. So there is certain elements of the game that really do stand out that you wouldn't see in other games. Now, for what it is, it's not a bad game for what it does offer, but you see a lot of similarities, like I mentioned, with other games that were also released from the same developer. Pretty much they're just rehashes of this game here. It's not the worst racer on the system, but it's definitely not up there with the best of them, not by a long shot. But if you are into these budget type of games, there's a plethora of them on the PlayStation 2, and they've all got their own unique elements, and even with their own pros and cons. Some of them are better than others, I will admit. This is kind of in the middle ground of between good and bad, if you will. There are certain elements of it that can be quite a struggle, but there are elements of it that can be pretty decent at times as well. It pretty much just depends on your experience with the game. But if you are into bike racing games and you are looking for something a little bit different, or even if you genuinely just want to try out a lot of these budget type of games just to see what they're like, there's no harm in giving this a quick try for a few minutes just to see what it's all about. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this game if you have played it yourself, and if so, what did you think of it? Did you enjoy it, or maybe not so much? Do you enjoy these type of budget type of games, or do you completely avoid them? Be sure to share it down in the comments below. And if you have enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of these unique style videos where I do explore a lot more of these quirky and unique and obscure budget style racing games that were also released on the PS2, then be sure to leave a like on the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be updated when future videos are released. And also be sure to check out these videos here on screen, where I do provide other reviews and gameplay videos of other similar style of games that were also released on the system back in the day. So be sure to check those videos out, and I will see you all over in the next one.